ebiri gali akayero kulaba buli omu kulaga kalayo wali nga emuliko. right. Good morning to all our viewers across the country, across Africa. Welcome to the ATA Super 8 Man competition and Super 4 Queens Com. This is the Uganda's edition of this competition. The ATA Man's competition, 8-man competition is in its third edition, and the women's or the Queens version of this competition is in its first edition. Yeah, so my name's Janan Alinga. I'll be taking you together with the technical team that we have here from Advanced Talent Agency. We'll be taking you through every shot, through every angle, through every miss of this tournament. Well, so on the table currently we have Anka Shayla, who is playing Zaimat Nabafu. The current scoreline is 1-1. Zaimat on the yellows. She appears not to have gotten a very good position for her next shot. And just for the consumption of our viewers, just to give you a quick overview of how we got here. The Advanced Talent Agency, through its technical director, ran a survey, an online survey, in which the fans of Q Sports across Uganda, across East Africa, across the entirety of Africa were asked to vote for their favorite top 8 men Ugandan shooters and top 4 female Qists in Uganda. It was a social media survey, and the polls, the votes, the voice of pool fans across the continent is what has resulted into what we currently have. So we have 8 strong Ugandan men, and then 8 strong female Ugandan shooters. And just to run through quickly, the the profile of the players that we currently have on the table. Anka Sheila, the lady who is now coming on the table. She's the current seed number 1 Uganda. She's also the national Nile Special champion, which happens to be the most prestigious tournament within the land. She's also the national, I beg your pardon, she won the Pool Association of Uganda King and Queens competition, that is 2024. So she really comes into this tournament with a lot of accolades. In 2024, she was clearly heads and shoulders above every other female player within the country. She won virtually all the top accolades. As for Zaimat, she's a very experienced shooter. She has been in the game for close to 14 years. She's very well respected among the pool fraternity and also by her fellow competitors. She is, or rather was, the national pool captain women when they won the All African Pool Championship here on home soil in Uganda in 2016. So just to emphasize, she's a very experienced shooter, and she's equally been on a very rich vein of form. She just recently won the Roxbury Ladies Day Out competition, in which she took down, if I remember clearly, Mutesi Rashida. I think that was in the quarterfinals. So Anka Sheila on the reds here, it should be, and it looks to be a very straightforward clearance. She has gotten herself a good cue ball that I believe she should be rolling onto that last red and straight onto the black. Ladies and gentlemen, Anka Sheila, Uganda's seed 1, who is also known as Marion Chisache. She currently leads 2 points to 1. It's a race to 8. And just for our viewers who would like to come through and be part of this action, this tournament is taking place at this spot in Chireka. It's located along Namugongo Road, just 100 meters away from Kampala Jinja Highway. And key to note, over the next 3 days, I beg your pardon, we are going to be having a pool heaven. There are a number of fixtures that have been lined up for you. Just to run through some of the fixtures that we have for today. Ongoing is Zaimat versus Marion Chisache. At midday we have Bwanika Mansoor, the current national champion men, versus Kaszi Joseph, the current seed one. It promises to be a nail-biting duel. That's at midday. Then at 2 p.m. we have Kayanja Ibra, who is also a former seed one, Uganda, versus Sejemba Ibra. It's the battle of the Ibras. Sejemba Ibra is a finalist in the previous national special championship of last year. And then at 4 p.m. we have Naiga Rukia versus Mutesi Rashida. It's a sisters battle. At 6 p.m. we have Lukomwa Hazard versus Lubulwa Simon. And to close the day off, at 8 p.m. we're going to be having Wagaba Rashid, aka Dog City, playing against Chandiga Caesar, aka the Scorpion. Also key to note is that the management of ATA, Advanced Talent Agency, that has put in place this awesome competition, has put in place cash prizes for every position. The winners, the finalists, all will get paid, but all positions will be rewarded. I'll be running through the figures a little bit later. But back on the table, Anka Sheila on the yellows and Zaimat already interfacing with the black. For Anka, she still has a small matter of the yellow ball that is on the left side of the cushion. She's opting to go for a safety here, and from where I'm sitting it looks to be a good one. That cue ball looks to be in jail, and Zaimat will have to find a safety escape here, and she gets it. Almost pots that black. Is the yellow, is the white safe? Yeah, it is. She goes for another soft touch there on on the yellow anchor, deciding not to pot it because I would believe she has weighed her options of getting white ball up on the table for that black, and she felt it was a bit a tight call. Zaimat equally replies with a good shot. So anchor here for the black. She pots. It's 3-1 in favor of anchor Sheila. Our umpire for this session is Nachiride Hadija, who is an ATA certified official. Also to note, in this ongoing tournament, the ladies will be playing the black ball rules. Meanwhile, the main, they'll be playing the international 8-ball rule. Back to the table. Zaimat breaks and fouls with the cue ball being potted on the left center pocket. So Anka Sheila with a ball in hand, or should I say 2 shots. The yellows look to be very well, fairly spaced. You'd reckon that a player of her standard would go for a clearance here. She has to move the cue ball slightly on the left side of the table, and she does. She's contemplating. Okay, I think she has reconsidered. She'll play the yellow ball next to the left corner pocket, get some white. I'm not so sure that's the white that she wanted. I think she might have overrolled that. But she has a lot of options, so there's a recovery shot there. And yes, she does. Good pot there on the last yellow ball. Does she get good position on the last block? It was always a it was always a hard decision there. from where I'm sitting, it looks like the most probable port for she falls. So Zaymat with 2 shots. Good thinking from Zaymat, using the 2 shots that she had to open up the red ball that was hooked at the bottom end of your cushion. However, she seems to. Wow. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. But such is the game. Anything can happen in this sport. With that pot of the black, Anka Shayla leads now 4-1 in a race to 8. Can Zaymat pull herself? Can she dig in and get herself back into this game? I reckon she would. But the earlier she does, the better or the easier it will be for her. She breaks, she puts. It's an open table. She'll look to nominate. She's going for the rates. Fell support, table open. Advantage, Zaymat. In every shot, there are definitely 2 factors at play. There is porting, and then there is getting position on your next shot. She seems to be solving this quite well. and she feels, at least from my angle, looks like the last red ball is not portable. She can't even see it, so she's going for a bank shot. Wow. Yeah, that's a fall. So advantage Marian Chisache with two shots. She decides to use one one of her free shots to move the red ball, to move Zaimat's red ball away from the center left pocket. Which is a good strategy, in that she makes sure that in case she misses to clear the table like she has done right now, there would be some level of difficulty for her opponent in potting. Zaimat gets the red ball, but definitely it's still advantage Anka because of the clear split of her yellow balls. You'd think, and I do think, she has the capability of potting them all. But let's see. So unfortunately for her, that cue ball got in touch with the yellow ball. So according to the black ball rule, what she has done is she has played it off the touching ball onto the cushion, and she managed to touch one of her yellow balls, which is a legal shot. Once again, she gets two shots here, and I do think this should surely be 5-1. and Shayla makes it 5-1. Just an FYI for our viewers, the ladies are playing the round robin format, so each of the queens are going to be versing the other three. Now the result from that is going to determine who takes positions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in the semi-finals we'll be having position 1 versus position 4, and then position 3 versus position 2. The champion for the ATA Queens format, the champion for the ATA Queens comp will walk away with 300 USD. Second position takes 150 USD. Third and fourth each will go home with 50 USD. So it's an open table here. Zaimat finds herself very uncharacteristically behind here. She needs to dig in. She needs to find her mojo. She needs to get back into this game. If she's to get something from this game, she needs to get back right now. On the clock, we have 41 minutes. It's a timed tournament. I want to believe she's still well within the time limit to get back into this game. Wow, looks like a good shot to me, because now she has opened up the red that was blocking the pathway for the last yellow. But in saying that, she has actually not potted the red that looked to have a line of coming through to this bottom left pocket. So advantage anchor. She fails to pot, leaves white in direct path to the yellow on the bottom left. She pots. Is she getting? She fails to get the white for the last yellow. So Anka Shayla with two shots, and just as she has done consistently throughout this session, she uses one of her shots to push, to roll Zaimat's yellow ball in what is not a very easy to pot position. Zaimat gets her yellow off the cushion. It's a legal shot, but it's still advantage Marion. It's still advantage Anka. And ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned earlier on, the next game will be Mansoor versus Kaszi. And I can confirm to you that the current Nile Special National Champion, Mansoor Bwanika, is already in the building. Is already in the building. That game will be kicking off based on our fixtures, should be kicking off by midday. So Zaimat plays a yellow, narrowly misses that center left pocket. Anka is up. The position, I have to say, the position that Zaimat has left the white ball leaves Anka with no choice but to pot, and yes she does. Yes she does. A very good shot at that. And believe you me, all her balls, all her red balls are in open space. Maybe she has a small matter of the two red balls at the top right end of the cushion. That's what she's trying to navigate right now. I believe she's going for a safety here again. It's been a very tactical game, this one, and I would think quite frustrating for Zaimat, who has had to play or try to get out of being snookered like almost for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Is she getting, wow, what a fantastic shot that is. She gets out of that bottom, or should I say that top right hand pocket. She hooks her yellow ball, and is she potting? No, not quite. Not quite. But it looks a fair shot. The red ball at the top right end of the cushion looks to be touching or in contact with that black ball. But we'll see. We'll see how she works out this layout. I think she was going for a defensive shot there, but the red ball went in, and now she has to pot here, and she does. Once again, this looks like a 6-1 scoreline in the offing. Little roll here. She hits it. She hits a stun shot. Wow. Wow, look at that weight. Look at that cue ball just hanging by the cushion. She's safe. The cue ball is safe. Anchor here for 6-1 scoreline. Rest to 8. She needs 2 more. Zaimat needs 7 frames in 30 minutes. So Anchor, Uganda's seed one once again with a powerful break there, with a very good split of all the balls. She nominates the reds, pots, table closed, and she's playing the reds. So Zaimat on the yellows, and once again the yellows are equally well placed, well spread. Does she still have the confidence left in her to try and go for a finish here? I believe that's what she has in her mind. Looks like one of those days where everything you try just doesn't work out. And I say that in context of Zaimat's game. So she can either go for a bank shot or wow, wow, what a shot that is. It's just a player who is full of confidence right now. There is no stopping her. So that's how it looks. It looks for sure. Well, so we're currently having a 5 minute time break that has been called by Zaimat. The scoreline currently is 7-1. Anka, aka Marion Chisache, has gone on a rampage. She has won 7 frames on the bounce.
In a game of skill and precision, every detail matters.
The right chalk makes all the difference.
Introducing the Scorpion chalk, designed for the modern player.
I have tried other chalks, but Scorpion Chalk is the only one that delivers results.
This chalk has given me confidence to take on the toughest opponents.
Scorpion Chalk's quality is evident in every shot I make.
This chalk has taken my game to the next level, and I won't use anything else.
It's the perfect chalk for players of all levels.
Scorpion Chalk is the best tool for players looking to elevate their game.
Scorpion Chalk is the best chalk, trust me.
The Scorpion Chalk, uniting players
Both
worldwide.
players
Get your hands
are
on the
back
Scorpion
into the
Chalk.
playing area,
Elevate
and
your game. The Scorpion
the
Chalk,
umpire has given
precision,
the green light
performance,
for Zaimak
passion.
to break. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is the ATA Uganda's edition of the Four Queens competition, which is taking place here at Addis Port, Chireka. This is the first game of the day out of a long lineup of fixtures that will be played today. Current score is Marian Chisache 7 and Zaimat 1. It's a race to 8. Therefore means Anchor obviously needs only one goal, and Zaimat, she needs all the 7 that Anchor has. Once again, I can confirm that the players that are lined up for the next session: Bwanika Mansoor and Kaszi Joseph, all of them are at the venue, and that game should be starting right after this one ends, which should be in a very short period. So, as highlighted earlier on, the sessions that the ladies are playing will help in determining who plays who in the semifinals. So each of the ladies are going to play the other once. So the results from those matches will help in determining who is position 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in the semifinals we shall have position 1 versus position 4. Then semifinal 2 will be the third person versus the second. So anchor here down to the last yellow. She rolls it and packs. Advantage Zaimat. And I would like to think the cue ball is in a perfect position for that red, and she plays, she pots. She'll want to start with the red that is at the center of the table, which she pots. She'll use the red at the top right end of the corner to get a good position on the cue ball for the last ball, which will be the black. Let's see what she comes up with. She goes for a screw, she goes for a backspin. I think that's a fairly comfortable position. And she pots. Zaimat 2, anchor 7. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 19 minutes on the dot to end this session. How do you not like that? Looks to me as a very good shot. She gets good position on that yellow ball, which is next to, and she pots. Does she get a good cue ball for the last yellow? Does she? Can she see it? looking at her body language, she doesn't look bothered. So clearly, I think she sees it. She pots with a hard hit. It's not the best of positions for the last black, but I think she'll be good. It's a very thin card, and she pots. Ladies and gentlemen, our first session, our first match. Chisachen Marian, aka Anka Sheila, has beaten Zaimat Nabafu by 8 goals to 2. And what a game it's been. Zaimat will have to take some time to take stock of what has transpired on the table. Of course, she still has 2 more games to play, which will be tomorrow against one of the 2 sisters, Mutesi Rashida and Naiga Rukia. So next, we'll be having Mansoor Bwanika taking on Joseph Kaszi. Mansoor Bwanika is the current Nile Special National Champion of Uganda, a tournament she won in 2024 by beating every competitor. It's the most luxurious tournament in Uganda. He'll be playing Kaszi Joseph, who also is in a red hot form. He is the current seed 1 Uganda, a position that he attained after a strings of very impressive performances in PAO sanctioned tournaments last year. He won the PAO Pool King and Queen Championship that was held in Jinja last year, amongst a number of competitions that he won. So that game will be coming on your screens shortly. Stay hooked.
He sent me an invite. This is just like